All right, this is lesson 4.4. I am going to cross off this top part. We don't really need to be concerned with that. So we're going to, first of all, you have to make sure that you have this blue paper that I should have given you. If you don't have this blue paper, then I will, or it is on Schoology. It will be labeled as exponents. So if you don't have this paper, you can just print it off. If you're at home, it'll say exponents. Okay, anyway, so exponents and radicals, they are kind of intertwined. So what I want to do is, first of all, change these two from radical form to exponential form. So to do that, first I have to look to see if the number underneath has an exponent. So this 3 does have an exponent, this 11 does not, so I'm going to put a 1 there. And then to rewrite these in exponential form, 11 is going to be the base, and then the number in front, which is called the root index, that is the denominator. So 1/3 would be the 1/3 is the exponent. Okay, number 2. So 3 is the base, and then the exponent would be 4/5. The number in front is the denominator. All right, so now we are going to go from exponential form to radical form. And to do that, we are going to pretty much do the opposite of what we did at the top there. So I'm going to go ahead and put a radical. The base, which is the 6, goes underneath. And I can't really read that exponent. I'm going to say it's 1/2. I'm going to say that's the exponent. So the 2 would go in front, and the 1 would go with the base. And the number 6, 2 would go underneath, because that again is the base. The denominator is the root index, and the numerator is the exponent. All right, we're not going to do 9 through 12, so just cross that off. We are going to do this down here, though, number 13. We've actually done this before. So if any number underneath is positive, it doesn't matter what the root index is, your answer is always going to be positive. The number under the radical, if it's negative, it does matter what the root index is. So if the root index is odd, then you're going to have a negative answer. If the root index is even, then it's going to be imaginary. So if I have a negative underneath and the root index is odd, I bring out a negative. If the number underneath is negative and it's an even root index, then you bring out an I. That's just a little reminder. We've done that before. All right, over in the back. Okay, this is where you're going to need your exponent sheet. So on all of these, we're not going to use a calculator. You're going to use this paper. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is make sure I have positive exponents. So it looks like on these first 4, they're positive exponents, so I don't have to worry about that. But I'm going to rewrite it. So I'm going to change my exponential form to radical form. So I got 4 underneath. The denominator goes in front, and the numerator goes in the back. Now I could put the 7 inside with the 4, but it's easier to evaluate if it's on the outside. So that's why I did it that way. So now I'm going to use my blue paper. Well, I might not need it quite yet. So I'm trying to figure out what the square root of 4 is. Well, the square root of 4 is 2. And then I take 2 to the 7th. So this is where I look at my blue paper. 2 to the 7th power is 128. So therefore my answer is, in fact, 128. Okay, number 15. So 81 goes underneath. The denominator goes in front. And then the numerator would be in the back. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what number to the fourth power is 81. So on this blue paper, I am looking for an answer that's 81. An answer that's an 81. Okay, here's one. I don't know if that's the answer yet, but let's see. So I'm looking for an exponent that's now 4, which it has that. So if 3 to the fourth is 81, then the fourth root of 81 is 3. So this becomes 3. And then I take 3 cubed, which again is on this paper. 3 cubed is 27. So 27 is the answer. Okay, 16. 125 goes underneath. The denominator goes in front. The numerator goes in the back. So I'm trying to figure out what number to the third power is 125. What number to the third power is 125? Here we go. What number to the third power is 125? It has to be 5. Since 5 cubed is 125, the cube root of 125 is 5. And then 5 squared is 25. All right, 17. This time I have a fraction as the base. That's okay, we're gonna do it the same way. So 16 and 81 goes underneath. So I gotta figure out what's the fourth root of 16 and what's the fourth root of 81. So what number to the fourth power is 16, and then what number to the fourth power is 81? Okay, well here's 16, and actually this one's gonna work because I have 16 as my answer and 4 as the root index. So my answer must be 2. That's for the top one. Now I gotta figure out what number to the fourth power is 81. So I'm looking for 81. Here it is. So the fourth root of 81 is 3. So 3 to the fourth power is 81. So the fourth root of 81 must be 3. And then I still have a cube there. So now I want to do 2 cubed, which is 8. And then 3 cubed, which is 27. So my answer is 8 over 27. All right, let's keep on going. I'm going to get rid of some of these. I'm going to get rid of 21 and 23 and 19. So I got rid of the right half. Okay, so this time I have negatives involved. Remember, if I don't have a positive exponent, I want to change that first. So number 18 looks fine. So I'm going to put that under a radical. The denominator goes in front. The numerator goes in the back. Now I have to decide, since I have a negative under the radical, if I'm going to take out a negative or if I'm going to take out an I. Well, since this is odd, I take out a negative. So that's what I want to do first. All right, so what number to the third power is 125, and what number to the third power is 64? Well, since 5 to the third power is 125, then the cube root of 125 must be 5. And then we've got, since 4 cubed is 64, the cube root of 64 must be 4. And I still have a negative out there. And now I'm going to square it. If I square a negative number, I get a positive answer. So 5 squared is 25, and 4 squared is 16. So that's my answer to number 18. All right, starting with number 20, 20 and 22 both have negative exponents, and I can't have negative exponents. So if that's the case, I'm going to do the reciprocal of the base, and then my exponent changes to positive. I only flip the base. The exponent just changes to a positive. Okay, now I'm going to rewrite it. So what number to the third power is 1? Well, whenever this is a 1 under a radical, it doesn't matter what this is, you're always going to get a 1. And then I got to figure out what number to the third power is 125. That's going to be 5. And again, I'm getting these answers from that blue paper. And now I'm going to square both of those numbers. So 1 squared is 1, 5 squared is 25. So that's my final answer. All right, and then finally 22, I have a negative exponent. I want it to be positive. So the first thing I want to do is do the reciprocal of my base. And then my exponent changes to a positive. I think it says negative, or I think it says 2/3. I'm going to go with that. I don't really know what it says. It might even say 4/3. Let's do 4/3 actually. Okay, so I flipped my base and my negative became a positive. Now I'm going to rewrite it. So I need to look at my blue paper. I got to figure out what number to the third power is 125. That's 5. And then what number to the third power is 64? That's going to be 4. And then now I take them both to the fourth power. So again, you have to look at your blue paper. 5 to the fourth is 625. And 4 to the fourth is 256. And that is my answer. So when you do your assignment for 4-4, you have to make sure you use that blue paper.